Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you speak that
Testing.
loud the whole time.
Testing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
see-
can speak louder.
The
if you
difference,
want.
though, in talking into the top of the microphone versus talking like this is
Sideways.
yeah.
Sideways. Sideways.
It's not an ice cream. I want you to be the guy that like bites his ice cream, not licks his ice cream.
Okay. All right.
We're biters here.
We're biters here.
Okay. I don't know if this is. I've had presses before. If you had to pick a flavor, you going pomegranate, ginger, or lime lemongrass?
Lime lemongrass.
Okay. I'm a pomegranate fan, but I don't know if I'm a lemongrass fan.
I'm a lime fan. Anything with limes in it,
Really?
I'm down for.
And you're not a drinker, so what
I'm
do
not
you
a-
what do you
I'm
have
not
with
a-
limes in it?
I don't know. I sometimes get water with a lemon and a lime just to make people think that I'm drinking, but
Okay.
secretly, I'm just hydrating.
It's interesting. Jake, have you had these lemongrass ones yet?
What's going on, Jake?
Have you ever? Jake, this is Ben. Ben, Jake.
Jake, nice to meet you.
Jake is my wonderful roommate. Jake was part of the process with Selena Gomez, so he's famous.
Ooh, nice, nice. Kudos, Jake.
I said you were part of the Selena Gomez thing. You're famous. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But you're in there.
What was the part of the video that Selena Gomez clipped?
She didn't clip anything. It was just the only thing I clipped. It was like the clip was, what part of my face says talk to me? None. Absolutely none. And it's just something people are going to use it as a voiceover.
Okay. All right.
It surprised me too, but
I showed my girlfriend the clip, and she was wondering why. Girlfriend? Why am I saying girlfriend? Wife.
Oh boy, we are. Do we have a girlfriend?
We do not. we do not. I still. This is secret time, in going out to
Everyone.
80,000 people. Still like sometimes like. Oh, I have a girlfriend. No, Ben, you have a wife. That's
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
still
wearing my
relatively new.
yeah.
And I
it's
think until you have kids, maybe you're gonna think like, oh, this is my girlfriend, because I don't know, maybe it's just as guys, but I never expected to be married. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe it'll happen one day, but you don't actually think that day is gonna come.
yeah. And then when
and it's come and gone for you now. And
Yeah.
you've had a wife for months.
since June, it's been incredible. Like, I met her just before the pandemic, and it was pretty instant. Like, I knew that she was fun and down to do a lot of stuff, and so
Sexual stuff, or just like
just stuff, not sexual.
I'm just messing with you. No, you were saying you showed her one of the videos.
Yeah, I showed her one of the videos, and she said, "Why is this? Why is there parental advisory on it?" And I was like, "I don't know. Where does a hamster come from?"
Oh, so if you look closely at my costume, I'm wearing a giant penis costume.
I thought you were just wearing like a
A skin suit?
no, like a buff guy
Like a
suit.
onesie? No, so that was Halloween last year. And my buddy was a convict. And I was Frank the Flasher. But I just didn't have the trench coat on because it was going to get in the way sitting down. So underneath the trench coat is just a skin suit, like I'm naked, and then a penis that was about 16 inches long and 4 inches in girth, or like more than that in girth. It was thick. It was just a long schlong. Just that the parental advisory was the whole thing is covering the penis.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's why it's angled.
That's why it's angled. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
So I figured, because I liked the clip a lot. Like, I was a little high. I thought I was laughing my ass off editing it, and I
Silly.
usually don't. And I was like, well, TikTok will probably take it down if I just have a cock floating around.
Yeah.
I was just covering all my bases.
Current, nice. You're a professional.
I'm not a professional, but you know, I've been taken down a few times. So
What does taken down on TikTok mean? Does
they have guidelines? I think there's like I think they got like a hamster cage of Karens in the back. They're just constantly cycling through videos, and
let's just see how many times we can say hamster.
Hamster?
In this episode.
Down. So they're just running on a wheel of just shitty videos, and they're like, oh, we don't like this one. Let's take it down.
Yep.
Jake and I were at our buddy's engagement party. They're now married. So it was a while ago, but we're at an engagement party, and I'm holding their son and dancing back and forth, and Jake has a beer in his hand, and I have a beer in my hand, but I let the kid grip the top of it.
Can't do that.
And we had a cheers that we did in college. So we made the baby do the cheers. And then I just shoved the beer down his throat, and they didn't like No, and that's all I did was the cheers, and then we were singing a Taylor Swift song in it. And I posted it because I was like, oh, I'm going to get cute points for this one.
Yep.
No, it was, we took the audio off, and we took the video down. I'm like, okay. And then I posted one of a white guy trying to rap, and he kept saying fuck all the time, and they took that down. I think I've been taken down one or two other times.
Okay.
Nothing insane. It's just like, hey, these are guidelines. You crossed them. I've learned, though, that if you refute it, because you can be like, hey, do you think we made a mistake? Ever since I found that out, they've just put it back up.
Okay.
So I think they have like a few like keywords that flag.
Yeah.
And they'll take it down. Or if like, oh, we said fuck like 9 times. Like I've said fuck probably 6 times now in the last minute.
Right.
This would get taken down.
Okay.
And because I'm talking bad about TikTok.
Yeah. I've recently got a TikTok.
Yeah.
As you know.
Have you posted anything yet?
I haven't posted anything yet, just because I'm just so enthralled by the fitness stretching videos.
Oh, really? Wow, they know you well enough. Your phone hears you well enough, because that's all we talked about when we were at Laughing Tap on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Was the band exercises.
The band exercises. Guys, if you don't know, Mike.
Girlfriend, and I'm not even here.
I always think of you as Jack Sarasoli.
Really?
I get you and Jack mixed up in my mind.
That's fair. You know what? Jack's not a bad person to be mixed up with. He was here last.
Yeah.
We had a great time. His videos did very well.
Do you base your friendships on videos, Michael?
100%. 100%. Like, if you get 6, we will no longer talk.
Well, so far I think we'll get 6.
We're getting at least 6.
We're getting at least 6.
Let's try and get taken down.
Let's not. Let's steer away from that.
Well, you're not gonna get taken down. What is your handle again? That stroke guy?
That stroke guy, yep. That is a good stroke or good dovetail.
Yeah.
I've survived brain cancer and a stroke. Pretty fun stuff.
Is it really?
When you think about it logically, like, I'm only 30. And it's not that fun to think about, but like,
no.
When you think about just the absurdity of it, like, I've survived brain cancer and a stroke and I'm only 30. Like,
most people won't go through that in a lifetime.
Yeah. Funny things do come out of it. Like, whenever I'm walking like towards a door and I have something in my hand, I'm just thinking like, man, this is going to either, like, I'm going to spill my coffee or I'm going to make it.
What is your biggest worry day to day?
Day to day, I don't know. Like, when I think about breaking a bone, like,
are your bones more fragile now?
I don't know. Like, I think like if I broke something on my left side, it'd be really bad because like that's the one side I have to keep.
That's your good side.
That's my good side. It's the right side. It's had a stroke. And like I have to protect that with like everything. Like
So if someone's gonna run into you, you're just throwing your right side of your body into them, like just fucking break it.
just fucking break it. If I'm ever in a fight, I'm gonna like stipulate. You can stipulate things in fights, you know.
Guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna stipulate. You know what? Go for the right side. It's pretty weak. It's gonna be over fast. But I don't know. Like the thing I fear most is like breaking something either on my left side, which would put me out for like a significantly longer time.
Yeah.
And then if I broke something on my right side, like, can it grow back? Like,
what do you mean? Can it grow back?
I don't know.
What are you, like a lizard? Do you think your arm's gonna come off?
No, I'm a hamster.
You're a hamster. You're a hamster. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
I think like that. It probably won't grow back right.
What?
Do bones grow when you break them? Have you broken a bone?
No, knock on wood. But no, it breaks and then it just fuses back together. It doesn't break and then disappear, and then you got to grow it back.
No, but it's like setting the bone's a thing.
What if you broke and then your hand was fixed?
Ooh.
Would you want to go get hit by a car? No, too?
Would you like to punch the pole behind you and find out?
What do you, okay, those those punching machines that like the numbers rack up?
Yep.
What do you think you could do with your right hand versus your left hand?
I actually have
you
done
done
it
this?
with my right hand in a bar full of people at my buddy's bachelor party, and I got a solid 100.
That's not bad.
I got a solid.
And you hit it like
whipping.
this, like a backhand?
Just a whip backhand.
You didn't do like an actual punch?
No. Cause when I do like an actual punch,
I feel like a terrible person.
when I do an actual punch, like my right side like gets all the way there and then just like chooses love, not war.
So it's just like a hey bud.
Hey bud.
Is that you think is as fast as you could punch right there? You don't want to throw your shoulder out, do you? You ever seen those like 1-inch punches? That could be like secretly powerful.
I don't know.
We're gonna test your limitations.
Let's test it at the gym next time.
Yeah.
Break
Did you
my
do the
wrist.
workout I gave you?
Yeah. It was hard. It was really hard.
Really? Did you do all of it? That's a no.
I didn't. I didn't because the gym I was working out at was they were doing classes, and they were doing classes with the
Dumbbells and stuff?
plyo boxes.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't do the step
The
up
step ups.
to press.
That's fair. Just go to the West Dallas one.
Yeah.
It's
I
still
should
a little bit of a drive.
Yeah. I should be good to go to the West Dallas one pretty soon because it's like a month waiting period.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Find
It's
out,
my gym, and I don't even know the rules.
find out you're not a serial killer.
Yeah.
If you can make it 1 month at one gym, you're good to go.
You can go to all of them. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool. It's a nice little membership perk.
Yeah.
With like a franchise gym. I don't know if all franchise gyms are like that. Maybe Planet and stuff is like that, but
Yeah.
Planet sucks. Have you ever been to a Planet Fitness?
I have not, and I pride myself on that. Like I've never gotten that like
Down. Where you're like, I can
Down.
only afford $10 a month to go work out.
yeah.
I have. I was in college. I went twice, and it was 25 minutes away from my house because I didn't want to pay more than $10. I was like, I'm going to pay for it in gas. and I went twice, and then just they took my money for a year and a half, which is how I think they get most of their money, is people forgetting that they have a membership or too lazy to go in and actually cancel.
Because you got to cancel in person, don't you?
Yeah.
That's so insane. Like, you can't cancel unless you physically talk to a person and say, like,
you have
hey.
to sign some documents. It's usually like a cancellation notice, which we have. I don't like. I had that. First time I had it was a gym in Miami. It's like, hey, if you want to cancel, you have to do it a month in advance. I was like, well, what if I don't know I want to cancel in a month in advance? It was like, well, you just kind of have to prep to cancel. Because once someone comes in and is like, hey, I'd like to cancel my membership today, basically, like, I want to stop paying today. I'm like, no, you will have one more payment in this 30 days, and then your membership will be canceled.
Wow.
Yeah. So they tell you usually if you're going to cancel a gym like that, cancel the day before your payment so you get the 30 days that you would have for that payment rather than canceling right after your payment, because then you're paying for a month you're not going to get. Are you leaving, Jacob?
Yep.
Have fun, buddy.
Jacob, drive fast, take chances.
See you, bud. Nice guy.
Has the pod started yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not think it started?
You know,
I don't like telling people to start.
Okay. Nice.
It's not as organic.
It's not as organic.
It's not as organic. I just say, like, hey, we're going to test your... You think... I've said it every time some new is on here. They're like, has it started? I'm like, no. I usually do the... Has the mic started yet? And we just start talking into it. You'd think if people listened, they'd be like, all right, I know it's coming when he goes... Let's test the microphones.
Yeah.
So, who knows? I like it.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know. Do you like my background light?
I'm
I'm getting a little cheap.
It's for those of you who can't see this, he put up a YouTube video of white for 24 hours.
Yeah, I talked about
the color white for 24 hours.
It makes a huge difference. I did it with Jack, and the edits look way better than like usually, because it'll get darker it'll basically be dark out by the time we're done with this.
Oh yeah,
and you'd barely be able to see you. Like we can obviously we can see well,
right.
But through the camera it does not look as good. And
right.
So no,
I think because the YouTube algorithm sees you're watching white for 24 hours. I'm
going to get, do you want to watch red for 24 hours next?
Or just the YouTube algorithm thinks you're a psychopath.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, I think this is why people actually, this has tons of views. We looked it up last time. But I think this is why people use it. Is I just need to brighten the room real quick. But other than that, I'd like to know, I always think about it, who are the people that there's a YouTube video for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Literally everything. Who thinks, you know what, I'm going to record this and I'm going to put it out there. I want to know how to fix the left or the passenger side front seat of my 2011 Toyota Camry because there's a carrot stuck in there and I can't move the seat. And they're like, oh, we have the exact video for you. Who's you know what? Someone's going to want it. And it's got 3,000 views. Use
a tweezer or a hamster. And
if you didn't know, carrots are quite fibrous. And if you just go back and forth a little bit. No, there really is a video for everything.
Pops right out.
And it's amazing how some of those pop up. I noticed the titles mattered a lot. I'm still learning all this. I know what I average in viewership per thing for the most part. And it'll depend on the success of other media outlets. But I just put one up, and the title was Sore Throat versus Congestion. And I was talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, it has 5 times the amount of views as it normally does.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's probably because the title, it's flu season.
And
it's sore throat versus congestion. Those are the 2 probably most searched terms on the internet right now in terms of people being sick.
Right.
I'm just going to put the titles aren't even going to make sense anymore.
Yeah. I can't wait.
It's just going to be Halloween haunts and then, or how to pick a pumpkin for this one.
I can't wait for you to post this and be like, brain cancer versus stroke. Which one
Why
do
not
you
both?
want? Which one do you want? Well,
I don't know if I would feel good putting that as the title.
If this gets 6 views, then you will.
What if we just put a battle for the ages?
A battle for the ages. Yeah.
So you said you didn't drink. We talked about this. Is it just? It said it's part personal choice, part like when you don't drink, what's going on is
Right.
better.
So, like, I don't know the science behind it, but
None of us do.
Like beer or alcohol is what's called a coagulant, and
Dude, you're looking at the wrong person to correct you.
or like an anticoagulant. And what it means is like when you drink, your blood is thinner.
Okay.
And so that's why when bar fights happen, so much blood. I've been around a lot of bar fights in my life. I have not been in or around.
I really want to get into one.
You really want to get into one?
Okay, I did. I'm gonna finish this and then we'll go to bar fights.
So the blood gets thinner, and the way my stroke works is they have blood in the brain, and so if the blood's thinner, it expands more and could expand to
different parts of the brain.
Okay.
So it's still in there.
There's still a little blood product in there, and that's like 60% of the reason why I don't drink. I probably could be fine if I had one or two, but
at this point I'd be the same way. Better safe than sorry.
And like the 40% reason is I love donuts and carbs, and I can eat as many donuts as I want and not get fat and work it off in, physical fitness.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Carbs is my biggest weakness. One of my biggest fears is someone telling me one day you're gluten intolerant. And I'm like, no. Like, it's just, I'm like, I'll die then. Just.
Do you like not eat carbs?
Because I eat carbs. Why?
Okay. Are you like one of those people that eats like
whatever I want?
Too many carbs and says like, you got to work out now?
No, I mean, I do days where I'm like higher or lower, because I have noticed if I eat a bunch, I'm a little more sluggish.
Yeah.
But I do know there are days like I need them because it's good energy. I've just more conscious of like good carbs and like just not so much processed stuff. So I'll have rice or pasta or like a piece of toast here or there, but like I'll eat it. I have a bagel for lunch every day, but I'm not like in the morning. I'm not having like a Hostess cinnamon cake and a few donut holes, and then lunch I got 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a donut for a honey bun for dessert, and then dinner is just only pasta. Like I just pasta, and then for dessert is just sugar. Yeah, which is not great carbs. So it's like no, I try and eat healthy during the week. Now during the weekend, I don't give a flying fuck what goes into my Sunday. If I go out, I used to eat so clean Monday through Friday lunch. Friday dinner, I get like Jake and I used to do fish fries at St. Paul's in Milwaukee at the market. Yep. And then we go drink. And then Saturday, if we went out again, we did like a day thing. If I drink, and I'm throughout the day, I actually don't eat a lot. It's when I get home and I'm like, oh, it hits me and I eat
anything.
But if I just like kind of passed out Saturday, Sunday, I'm like, my body needs food. I would put the entire, like if there was a Hostess food truck, I would put the entire truck down my throat. I eat so much, just shit food. And then I would, on Monday, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah. I eat the same thing for lunch every day.
Yeah, I do too, but mine's out of convenience. I think yours is out of sanity.
Mine's There's another thing you gotta know about me, because I've had so many health things come up so young. I don't like surprises. Like,
Shocker.
like I like a routine. I like the same things. Just I don't like to be surprised.
Don't like to be surprised, but would you try new things? Like if you know you could go, let's say, like, hey, I made 2 dinners. You have your one you'll like. Would you be willing to try this one that's usually not something
Yeah.
you may or may not
Yeah.
like?
Yeah.
Because you have a backup.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like at restaurants,
So you're not picky, you're just particular.
right.
All right.
At restaurants, like, this drives my wife insane. Like, I got it right this time.
There you go.
Like, I'll order the same thing because I know I like it, and I don't want to be,
At every restaurant?
At
And
every
then she's like,
restaurant.
why the hell are we going trying different restaurants if we're going to the same thing?
Yeah.
That's fair. That would bother me too, if I'm being honest with you. It would bother the shit out because I like trying new foods. Now I have go-tos, but for me, if I'm going to, I have the mentality like, why did I come here if I'm not going to get, like, what are they known for, or like what are the best things on their menu? What's unique? If I'm like, I would, again, if I was a picky eater, I would hate it or if I just suddenly became one. Because if I went to every one of these nice restaurants and I was like, can I have chicken tenders and french fries with ketchup?
Well, it's not that basic.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, you get this basically the same thing over. So like, if you go to a new restaurant, do you have anxiety and you've never seen anything that you've really had before on the menu? Do you have anxiety trying to pick something?
I do, but I go like, okay, this is, a cream, like, barbecue place. Like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna order the salad.
Yeah.
Like,
You'll get what they're known for then.
yeah.
What they're going to make the best.
Correct, and when they probably make the most.
Okay. See, I want you'll get like one thing, like we're going to start with this. I would like this, and like 9 of these appetizers look good. Let's try them all.
Yeah.
I love food.
Have you ever
food.
been to Dan in the 3rd Ward?
I have not.
Okay. Dan, you got to go. Dan makes this dish called, Dan noodles. And I just thought it was like their noodles.
Yeah.
Dan noodles are like everywhere. But like,
Yeah,
I
I've heard of Dan noodles.
I specifically ordered them just because, like, oh, like this is a staple for them because
It's the name of the restaurant.
it's the name of their restaurant.
Yeah.
And so,
Do you like them?
oh, I love them. They're so spicy and good.
I'm hit or miss on I like spice. I don't necessarily love spicy.
I love spice.
There's a difference though. Like spicy, if you're like, and you're sitting there, I'm like, oh, I gotta like cool my mouth off. Versus like, oh, that has good spice to it. Like it has a little kick, but you're like,
Right.
But it's a punch rather than like a heat.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I love it when I can't feel my mouth.
I hate that. I hate that. I'm like, I can't even taste my food then.
We went there once with my parents, and my dad thought he was having a heart attack because the noodles were so hot.
Yeah, I would hate that. I'm sure there are different levels of spiciness you can
Right.
get, but I would hate that. Have you seen the people that you've been on TikTok for a day and a half, but
Yeah.
some come up. And
Oh,
like,
I've
you've gone through it a lot.
I've gone through it a
Yeah.
lot.
You're like some guys like I saw one today. He's like, I'm the Spice King, and it was like 2.2 million Scoville units of cheese balls.
Yeah.
And he had 10 of them, and then didn't move.
Yeah.
I'm like, your taste buds have to be gone for
Yeah.
one. You have to be numb in the mouth at all times. I had a raw onion once, and I couldn't taste my food for a day.
I hate onions.
I've learned teaching myself how to cook. You know, like when to use certain onions, when not to, and when they're good.
Right.
I'm not a big, like, give me just a chunk of onion all the time. But if cooked right, onions are delicious. What's your least favorite foods? Give me 3.
My girl or my wife, if she ever,
Yes.
my wife, if she ever sees this, got it right again.
Yeah.
She'll be screaming at the screen, going like, "I can name 10 right off the bat." Got to be broccoli.
Love broccoli. One of the best vegetables.
What I like? It's so good for you. I just don't like it.
Is it a texture thing?
It's a
Are
texture.
you a texture eater or a taste eater?
A texture thing, and like, I don't like the taste of like
So you
just
don't like it.
straight up.
Well, are you eating it raw or is it cooked? Part of me wants to just cook you a bunch of foods you don't like and see if I can get you to like them.
There's a caveat to broccoli. If you like put sriracha on it, and fry it up a little bit,
so crispy, like deep fried broccoli with hot sauce.
Right.
Sriracha, I think, is my least favorite hot sauce.
All right, this podcast's over.
But it's a good like Asian flavor.
Yeah.
So if I need anything spicy for like an Asian dish I'll make, like a sauce, sriracha will be the hot sauce base. But I have some with sriracha that I think it's like way spicier than it actually is. I sound like a bitch saying that, but like because like I love Cholula. I don't think Cholula has any spice to it whatsoever. I think that's my favorite hot sauce. And I've had plenty of other ones. I'm like, oh, this just tastes good. But something about sriracha, I'm like, I don't know what it does to me. I feel it in my face.
Let's get off the subject of food.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Did you have something in mind?
I didn't.
Oh.
But I wanted to say I have the same thing for lunch. And where I work, they have a cafeteria, and I order the same sandwich. I ordered the same sandwich for the first 10 months. I started the job like 3 weeks before COVID hit. And 10 months in, the chef comes to me one day and she's like, look at the menu. And right there, my sandwich is the Big Ben. And I'm like, oh, like I have job security now for like, because I have this sandwich.
For as long as the chef works there,
yeah.
You at least work there, yeah.
So
that's everyone, I think, dreams of having some food dish named after them.
Yeah. And it's to the point where it drives my coworkers crazy because they know what I'm ordering and they'll come up to me in the hallways and be like, what you having for lunch? What you having for lunch? Well,
What is it? What is the sandwich?
Okay. All right. All right. Glad you asked.
This
Good question.
Was it like ham, turkey, potato chips?
No. So it's a panini first.
Okay.
So panini with turkey, then sriracha mayo.
Delicious.
Very good. Spinach, and then this spicy Gouda.
That's it?
That's it.
It's basic, but I like it. I like it.
It's totally basic. People call it.
It's a spiced up turkey and cheese sandwich.
People call it the Big Tasteless because
really,
and that's really offensive.
I would be upset. I mean, sriracha mayos. This is when I like take back the sriracha comment though, because sriracha mayo is fantastic.
Yeah.
You dumb it down a little bit, it has a great flavor. I think it's just I'm allergic to sriracha. All right, we got to get on
food. Let's fix golf.
Let's fix golf?
What's
wrong with golf?
It's, where do you stand on Live Golf PGA? versus
Live?
PGA.
Oh, Live Golf PGA. I thought that was like a slogan. Live Golf. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't give two shits.
Wow.
I get both sides. If someone offered you $100 million to jump ship and go do, okay, think of it like comedy. You're doing
Right.
comedy here, okay? You make X amount of dollars.
Right.
If someone told you, hey, you can live here, but we want you to go play golf or go do comedy over here for 10 times that amount of money.
Well, I'm sort of doing that with Don't Tell
Yeah,
Comedy.
yes. So I get it. Now, I saw an interview with Zalatoris where he's like, if this is a money thing, he goes, and at the time, like he hadn't won yet.
Right.
He's like, I've made over $10 million and I've never won on this tournament. So if you think I'm being underpaid at all, like you're crazy. I get
Right.
like I've been close and whatnot, but like I'm very thankful for this league or whatever association, whatever it is. So I get like you have like this sense of home and pride and community with the initial one.
Right. PGA.
Yeah. But most of those guys are still playing in some of these events, like the big ones.
Right.
Why is it to be mad at people for leaving almost seems like you're mad they're leaving and it's going to decrease viewership for where you were already, which really just decreases pay. So it then does seem like a money thing. Like, who cares that someone's playing golf somewhere else?
Right.
I really don't like. You don't get to. I'm upset that I don't get to see them as much, seeing Phil or DJ and I'm not watching golf every day.
Right.
But, like it doesn't affect anyone. Most of the golf now is on YouTube that people watch.
Right.
Or people watching content creators golfing. Again, Bryant Bros or the Good Golf or DeChambeau's on YouTube or so many other people. That's I think how most people are watching golf now, anyways.
Yeah, you bring up some excellent points.
Bob Does Sports, and that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
Bob Does Sports.
Bob Does Sports. Bob Does Sports does it really well.
That would be if this were to ever get traction, where I could like feel like I could reach out to people. I'd be like, hey man, let's go play a round of golf.
Right.
I think at their skill level.
Right. I think I'm at their skill level too. I golf. I know.
Here's our challenge: you and I versus Bobby Fairways and Joey Coldcuts. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. They have 4 hands. We have
3.
3.
Do we get a handicap?
We get a 1-stroke lead.
There we go.
Gotta work it in.
Hamster.
I think the format's wrong for Live Golf.
I don't even know anything about Live Golf. Like, explain to me.
So PGA, like 4 days, and there's cuts. There's serious cuts for money.
Yes.
And Live Golf, no cuts, and everyone gets paid.
It's like the participation version of golf. That I don't like. I like the cuts. I think we need to, in general, life needs to have cuts.
Correct.
It makes it more interesting. If you know, like, he's going to be there no matter what, like, it makes people play harder, I think.
Yeah.
And, like, cool, you make more money, but at the end of the day, I don't care that you won $2 million. I'd like to see the SportsCenter top 10 and you holing out from 180 yards.
I've watched some of the Live stuff, and it just doesn't have the bite that PGA does with, the things that like there's no stakes. There's got to be stakes.
I agree. We're soft. I think in general, as a whole, everyone we're getting soft.
Okay.
Everyone's getting soft, and the fact that like, oh no, you won't get cut.
Yeah.
Bothers me. I didn't know that no one got cut there.
No one gets cut.
it's a fun stat. Like, how many cuts did you make? Like, Tiger had like an absurd one or something like that,
Right.
or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It bothers me that we are. It's gonna sound so bad, but like too inclusive. I think
Wow.
we
You're-
are though. Like, I think stuff like, if done properly and with the right intent, hazing, bullying, all that stuff has benefits. I really
Right.
do. Because
Okay.
if you grow up and you're just like, nope, what you want is what you get. No hardships, nothing. As soon as those people in life leave you who have been making your life easy, your life is now infinitely harder than if they challenged you growing up.
Right. You're
If-
talking to a guy who survived brain cancer and a stroke.
Yeah, I get that.
Nothing's handed. Nothing's handed
Exactly.
to you in life.
But if someone was just like, no, you get everything that was ever given, ever given to you. Like, and then those people who provided to you are gone, and you're like, oh, how do I get? I knew people who didn't know how to do laundry in college. I know people who didn't know how hot to put the water to boil it.
I call my dad.
Granted, that guy makes 10 times more money than me now, but like just simple things like you need to learn. You don't learn with life being easy all the time.
I call my dad for the same cooking advice, at least like
Cooking's a bad example, but you get where I'm going with it.
Right.
If you don't face any adversity, you're not gonna learn. The whole "you learn from your mistakes" is so cliche, but it's so goddamn true.
right. It's true. I got nothing else.
You're done, hamster.
Done. Hamster.
No, I don't even know how long we've been doing. How long? I like asking. How long do you think we've been doing this?
We've been doing this for about 25 minutes.
25 minutes. 42.
42. Okay. All right.
It's impressive. I cut it off at an hour.
Okay. All right.
I usually ask a question at the end. I already forgot what. Oh, I remember it. I'm not gonna ask it now, though.
Okay.
All right. What are you doing the rest of the night?
Going home and hanging out with the wife.
Not the
Maybe
girlfriend tomorrow.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
She's not watching this far into it.
Yeah, I think I might write some. I just am. I've been in a funk recently with writing,
I feel like I have been too.
and I gotta get better. We all gotta get better at writing new shit and testing it out. Like, I went up on Monday night at Bremen and did a character, and it bombed hard. It bombed really hard, but I had so much fun
Yeah.
thinking about it.
You gotta
Like,
try it.
you gotta try it, and this is what comedy comes down to, is trying shit at when it doesn't matter, and if it goes well, building off of it, and then when it does matter, knocking it out of the park.
Yes. That's what and I can't wait for these next 2 weeks. Like, actually, like having the shows and the stuff that I have built that I know is good. I'm like,
Right.
like, it feels like everything's coming to. It's such a basic like show, but I'm like, oh, this one matters to me.
Right.
Or like the mics, you have like a different mentality. You're like, which I shouldn't. I feel like you should go into every one of them. Like, this is it.
Right.
But it gets old performing to the same 20 people
It does.
5 times a week.
It does. And I had a terrible show in Rockford, Illinois this past weekend. And you know what? It wasn't my fault.
You blaming the audience on this one?
I'm blaming the audience. And what comes down to it, I think I'm blaming the booker mostly, because this was marketed as a free show.
Free is tough. So
Free
it's like,
show.
oh, fuck it, let's stop in.
Yeah. But it was at, a restaurant. And so when we showed up, the people at the restaurant didn't realize that a comedy show was happening right now.
That is the worst. When
That-
no one's expected to be talked to.
Two, and
It's going to go downhill real fast.
and they have to stop their conversation. Like they're told like no table talk.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man.
Like we came here to table talk. And you're like, don't do it. Someone else is going to talk for you, and you may not like it.
Yeah, and you probably won't because, I went up there with my brain cancer and stroke stuff,
And to some woke people, it's going to be depressing, but you're trying to like make light of it. And some are like, thanks, man.
right, they weren't the woke crowd that
Oh.
were doing that. They were just like, when is this over so we could talk?
Yeah, that's tough. I had that once. I did it was a show to promote the show.
Yeah,
Like we just went and was like, oh, we're going to start bringing comedy here. And they just shut off. Like it was a restaurant, music venue, cafe combined. We talked about this.
Right.
And it was just right up front. They shut everything off. And they're like, all right, guys, we're going to have 4 comedians come and talk to you now. By the way, if someone starts with they're going to come talk to you
they're gonna
now,
come talk to you.
not great.
Yeah,
And not one of them was like, oh, we're here. They came here for comedy. One person's like, yeah, I knew this was it. I'm like, no, you didn't. One guy was so oblivious the whole time. Like, we all ate shit. Every one of us. I'm like, I don't know if I want to come back.
yeah.
And
then
then the lack of promotion doesn't help, and not having people not know is the worst.
Yeah, we should have done a segment about fixing promotion.
We can do it right now.
All right, let's fix promotion. I think the week you have a show, just bombard it.
Mhm.
Just, we have the platforms.
Yeah.
We should just be bombarding it. And I say this knowing that I run a show that's in 40 cities nationwide, and they have the bandwidth to promote it,
Yeah.
and they have mailing lists. But that Rockford show, if I would have thought like, oh, like if there were if there was an email list for this, like this could have been a better show.
Oh, absolutely. I think, and some people, and the minute you start not promoting, which I need to be better at promoting in general, although I think I do a decent job promoting, like this
Yeah, with
when
this, yeah.
yeah, but just like actual shows, because there are shows you get put on that, and I'm still brand new, so you've been on infinitely more than I have, but there have probably been shows you've been put on there, like, I'm doing this because it's an opportunity. It's probably $50.
Right.
I have nothing better to do. It's probably not the greatest show, but you know what? I get to practice a 10-minute set instead of doing 4 minutes at this bum of a bar kind of thing.
Right, to the same 20 people.
So you're like, you're almost like, I don't want anyone to go there. And so
Right.
then no one promotes it. And so everyone gets in their head, oh, no one goes to this. Why would I promote it if no one's going to go there? And it just gets worse. You're just digging yourself a hole.
Right. And I mean, I think you can do that with out of town shows because no one's gonna know me in
Yeah.
Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah.
But when you're in town, I think at least a few posts would help.
I agree. There's sometimes I'm just like, it's nice, but do you want the same people to come to your show every time?
I don't, but I think
Filling the seats is great.
filling the seats is great.
Laughter is contagious. It is. So like having
And I'm
having
saying
someone next to some instead of having spaces in between where you feel like you have a gap to like just kind of look away and not laugh
right.
versus someone's laughing, you're going to laugh. You get like it's okay to laugh kind of thing.
Right. And I'm saying this full well. I've had some of the best shows in front of 10 people. When you get the right 10 people who are in it, like it can be a fun show.
Oh, yeah. I performed to the other I did a show in Green Bay. Me, Brandon Wine, 2 others. The host, opener, me, Brandon Wine. We performed to each other. The owners of the bar, the bartender, my girlfriend who came, and then 2 drunks who had been there since Tuesday. That was it. That was a whole audience, and it was some of the most fun I had. Like, the show in itself sucked,
Right.
but Brandon and I sat up front, and I had my notebook out, and people started doing jokes, and I would write like an 8, and I'd show it up like they did a trick on like America's Got Talent or something like that, and we're just fucking around, and the whole time it was like a roast thing. We're just going back and forth at each other. We're talking with the drunks in the back. Finally, like 3 people came in, left immediately, started roasting Brandon. We're like, we'll get you shots. We're like, oh, fuck. I looked at my girlfriend, like, we're getting drunk. You got to drive us home.
Right.
But, like, as long as if you go in with the right attitude, everyone's got to come in with the right attitude. That's why I think sometimes free shows suck, because when they're like, fuck it, let's go in. And I think that's when people have the biggest expectations.
Right.
It's when it's free, which sounds ass backwards. But if it's free, they're like, let's go in. These have to be unbelievable comics for us to, like, just stay.
Right.
Versus we paid. We're going to laugh. Let's go enjoy some humor.
Yeah.
You're like, we're here. Let's have some fun. Versus, I could leave. This better be fucking good.
Right. I think, like, the more and more you advance in the stand-up comedy arena, like, crowds have an expectation, but where me and you are at right now, they're just going to have a fun night.
Yeah. And
that to me is like a goal to achieve.
Yeah. I almost think I used to think when I started this, I was like, oh, thank God. Not thank God, but I was like, all right, when I started, I'm like, I don't want a ton of people here.
Right.
I just want to, like, I don't want anyone to see this. Like, I wanted people to see it. I was like, I like performing. And the more I've done it, I'm like, I want 9,000 people in this room.
Right.
I want so many people in the room.
Because it makes it
It's
easier.
no longer like I'm afraid of people seeing. I'm like, no, I want. If you get one to laugh, it's a domino effect.
Right.
And then everyone's having a good time. You feel good. Your performance goes through the roof. Then you're not, like, so robotic with it.
Right.
At least me learning. It's like, I like it when people are like, oh, we have a group. Let's interact with everyone. I love talking to people.
Right. The first 6 months of comedy were just the worst for me. And then I found out that, brain cancer and stroke jokes work. And so, stay with that.
Really playing off that card, aren't you?
Playing heavy on that card. No, but it's fun figuring it out. And
I'm in, I would say, my first 9-10 months right
okay.
now.
All right.
I started last May, my first one.
Okay.
I thought about this in bed the other night. I was like, I wanted to say I started before I was 25. So I started the Friday before I turned 25 on a Sunday.
Cutting it close.
Yeah, I started on a Friday, and at the high note, I sat down on a stool. They had condoms on the microphones. I had my hat all the way down and a mask on, and I was decently drunk. And I was like, let's do it. I had a huge dopamine rush afterwards. But then it was like, I didn't do it for like 2 months after that. So I was like, I did it. I was to say I did it. I wanted to say I tried. I was like, no, you like this. Like, keep doing it. And I was like, once a week, every other week, once a week. And then December hit, and I was like, buckle down. And now it's like multiple times a week, starting the beginning of this year, basically.
Right.
My goal on New Year's my New Year's resolution was to get booked, and it took me 2 weeks. Which sounds so cocky, which is like, it took me months, but I got my first showcase at the High Note. What was your first show like?
First show, shout out Chris Schmidt for putting me on. First show, and like I showed up and I was like, this is the big time. So many people are gonna be here, and about 5 people showed up, and it was a show.
Yeah.
And I had Sunday afternoon show wasn't the best show.
Tough.
It was by all definitions, a show.
Yeah.
I got paid $20 for it. And, since then, I've been pounding away.
Yeah. Mine was almost not the opposite. It wasn't a ton of people. High Note Showcase, snowstorm. My friends drove down from Madison to see me.
Wow.
Dedication. My brother came and surprised. They all surprised me. And then there's probably 16 people in the room.
Right.
I get there and they're like, hey, the feature dropped. I wasn't even supposed to host. My first show was open. They're
right.
Like, can you do 10 to 12 minutes? I had never tried more than 5 in my life at that point. But I was like, I've tried enough, and this time I got it. The feature drops, and Evan, the owner of the bar, is like, I brought 2 people in to fill your open spot. Can you feature? And then Louisa is hosting. She goes, can you do 16 to 18? I literally was like, yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
I did. And I actually cut stuff out. And I the first 3 minutes was me just crowd work.
Right.
Which felt it was nice because I knew people. And I
worked to everyone you know. The closest.
Yes, and to the Evan and the other comics is but it was my first really go at it.
Right.
And I filled it. I got the I was like, shit, I did it probably at 16.
Right.
I was like, and I cut out a whole chunk I didn't think I was gonna, or I thought I was gonna be able to do. I was like, this is what's gonna fill most of the time.
Right.
And didn't even do it. And I was like, that felt good. It was crazy. Way different after that. I got off stage and someone was like, all right, I guess, would you like to have a 4-minute guest spot on my show? I was like, go fuck yourself. But I was like, I don't think that's how it was supposed to work for my first show ever. Yeah. It was like, hey, you shouldn't be opening, but you also shouldn't be hosting.
Yeah.
It's more like guest spots, I've learned. Yeah. And then now you're going to basically feature for Charlie Koji's.
Oh,
Charlie's nice guy. I really
Charlie, good dude.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ready for your last question?
All right. Hit me with it.
Usually they're deep.
All right.
Last season's was, what is your meaning of life in 5 words or less? 5 words or less. That's not your question, but that's just kind of the direction, kind of. This one is 2-parter. Would you like to know the answers to everything? That's a start. Would you like to know the answers to everything?
Okay.
Why or why not?
Okay. Actually, you know what? Probably, yeah. Probably because you know my story.
Yeah.
I've had the health issues, and at some point you just gotta
be like, why?
Why? Yeah. So, yeah, I would.
So everything, as in universe, whatever. My answer is no, because I think that would take the point out of living. I think a lot of living is figuring stuff out. If I knew everything, it's
that is true.
Second part, if you could only have the answer to one thing from any point in time, whatever, any kind of question you have, who killed JFK, who built the pyramids,
yeah,
why am I white? Pick a question. If you could have the answer to it, what would it be? What would that question be? Also, do you want to do 5 minutes at the High Note tonight?
Yeah, I'll do 5 minutes at the High Note.
All right.
Who's on it?
I'll answer the question.
Okay, all right. I would want to know, is it gonna all work out?
Okay. For you, for people, for
me.
For
I think I have a good theory on it. I think it will.
Okay.
Just because my motto to life is just keep going.
I think that's a good one.
Something good's gonna happen, or it's not.
But I would rather do it and then
yeah, you'd
nothing
rather
happen
do it
than do nothing and be there like, I wish I would have just kept trying.
Yes.
So then that's when you know, like, oh, this wasn't. Maybe you realize, oh, my purpose was to be a father instead of whatever, but this kept me busy kind of thing.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I firmly agree.
I think that's a good ending.
That. That's a great ending, yeah. I like the serious endings. Thank you very much. We ended at 1 minute and 35 seconds.
You mean hour and 35
Yeah.
seconds? All right.
Hamster.
Hamster.
Cheers.
Brain cancer, stroke.
Thank you, buddy.